Doctor, a part of me stinks like rotten fish and don't know how to feel clean again.
I understand. It's a smell that comes from within. It's what you carry. That's why I made this video for you. It will show you how to clean that burden from the root. Some bodies speak in silence. Bodies that carry symbols where others see only ink. Bodies that, without uttering a single word, confess truths they'd never dare speak aloud. And then it happens. You catch a tattoo on a woman's skin, and something tells you there's a story pulsing beneath it. A story that doesn't quite match the version she tells. A story that maybe even she doesn't realize she's telling. Because nobody marks their skin without first being marked by something. Here's the uncomfortable question. What is the body trying to say when the mind runs out of words? Tattoos aren't decoration. They're scars we choose. They're the unconscious begging to exist. They're shadow messages filtering toward the light. And behind every line, there's an echo, an emotional aftershock, a fragment of identity fighting to survive. There's something profoundly human about the need to mark, to leave evidence, to make the invisible visible. From the caves at Lascaux to modern tattoo parlors, we've always known the body is more than flesh. It's canvas, it's territory. It's the last space where you can say, this belongs to me. But something shifted. Over the past 2 decades, female tattooing stopped being fringe. It no longer belonged exclusively to sailors, inmates, or subcultures. It went mainstream, normalized, democratized. And with that normalization came forgetting. We forgot what it actually means to mark your skin. We forgot the emotional price paid before walking into that studio. We forgot that every line of ink is a line of fate rewritten. Today, we're recovering that memory. No moralizing, no romanticizing, no sanitized narrative trying to package everything as fashion or lifestyle. We're decoding the intimate language living behind each mark. The secret dialect the body writes for itself, so it won't forget who it is or who it stopped being. Because every tattoo is a chosen scar, and every chosen scar tells a story the mouth never had the guts to say. And we're asking an even deeper question. What does it say about our times that so many women need to tattoo themselves to feel whole? Carl Jung said what we resist becomes our fate, and often what hurts becomes image. In therapy, it's surprisingly common. Women who show up saying, I need to change something about myself. And the following week, they walk in with fresh ink. It's not random. Tattoos appear where there's been emotional fracture, where trauma left identity hanging, where words failed, but the body could still speak. Nobody gets tattooed because they're fine. They get tattooed because they need to remember they survived. There are 3 fundamental psychological archetypes behind tattooing. The tattoo as an act of sovereignty. If the world marked me without permission, now I take control. This is the survivor's tattoo. From abuse, from illness, from devastating loss. The needle's pain is nothing next to the pain she already knows. And this time, she chooses. She designs the wound. She controls how long, where, what it means. It's reclaiming power, saying, my body is mine again. This is a chosen scar, the only one that got permission to exist. The tattoo as a ritual of transformation. Here I hurt, here I transformed, here I'm still breathing. This is the initiatory tattoo, the one marking before and after. The divorce, moving across continents, a parent's death, the end of one version of yourself. This isn't nostalgia, it's symbolic death and rebirth. The body saying, I was that, but I'm not anymore. The tattoo as identity anchor. This is mine, nobody takes it again. This is the subtlest and most painful. The tattoo of a woman molded for years by others' expectations. Perfect daughter, accommodating wife, obedient employee. Until one day she wakes up and doesn't recognize herself. The tattoo becomes a way to find herself in the mirror, to say, there's something in me nobody can strip away. It's a chosen scar against self-erasure. Here's what few people talk about. The tattooing process triggers profound neurological effects. When the needle breaks skin, the brain floods with endorphins, dopamine, adrenaline. It's controlled pain, generating pleasure. A chemical paradox the nervous system reads as survival. And for many women, that process becomes addiction, not to the tattoo itself, but to feeling something, to cutting through emotional numbness with something physical, to jolting awake from emptiness with something concrete, tangible, real. It's socially acceptable self-harm. but it's also self-rescue. Because sometimes, the only way to process emotional pain is translating it into physical pain with a beginning, middle, and end. Ink doesn't cover wounds. It makes them permanent. But it makes them permanent on your own terms. And that changes everything. Byung-Chul Han described the Achievement Society, an era demanding bodies be flawless, smooth, silent, without history. Bodies that photograph well for Instagram. Bodies that don't disrupt, don't interrupt, don't remember. The tattoo shatters that tyranny. It's a political act, a refusal of the neutral body, a visual declaration you don't entirely belong to the social machine. Foucault would have called it a technology of the self, a practice where subjects construct themselves, not through obedience, but through calculated transgression, because tattooing breaks skin, and breaking skin breaks the boundary between private and public, between who you are and what you show, between the identity handed to you and the one you build. Every chosen scar is an act of radical honesty. Tattooed skin admits what society tries hiding. We're all a little broken. We all carry scars. We all need rituals to not disappear. We live in times where pain is privatized and image is public, where authenticity gets celebrated, but only if it's marketable, where self-expression gets preached, but only within aesthetically acceptable limits. That's why tattoos are a collision of worlds. The intimate made visible, the emotional converted to symbol, the repressed winking from skin. In a world where so many fake perfection, the tattooed woman reveals truth can be beautiful even when it hurts. And that terrifies people. Terrifies because it's irreversible. Terrifies because no filter can erase it. Terrifies because it exposes something deeper than surface. The tattoo isn't art. It's public scarring of private wounds. Tattoos are the last form of resistance in a culture of the ephemeral. Their permanence in the disposable era. Their commitment in the age of emotional ghosting. Lucia tattooed herself at 27. A small symbol on her wrist that looked harmless, almost trivial, but behind it lived an earthquake, a relationship that had reshaped her through emotional blows, abandonment leaving invisible craters, an identity that crumbled slowly like peeling paint. For years, she'd been his girlfriend. She'd adapted her tastes, dreams, speech patterns, until one day she woke up not knowing who she was without him. The tattoo wasn't ornament, it was a map, a compass toward a self she hadn't met yet. A way to reclaim the body someone else tried possessing. She chose an arrow. Simple, minimal, but loaded with direction. Her first chosen scar. The only one pointing forward, not back. And for the first time, seeing that mark, she recognized herself. Not as victim, but as author. Not as supporting character, but as protagonist of her own story. What we think tattooing means is naive. It's not rebellion, not fashion, not aesthetics. That's just surface. The socially acceptable excuse. Here's the shift. Tattoos aren't acts of expression. They're acts of integration. They're not trying to show the world something. They're trying to recover something lost inside. Jung spoke of shadow integration, the process where the repressed, denied, hidden, gets brought to consciousness and accepted as part of the total self. Tattoos are that process made flesh, the shadow demanding to be seen, the unconscious writing in its only language, symbols. And here's the most uncomfortable part. Many tattoos attempt closing a wound, but others are reminders of wounds that refuse closing. Because sometimes healing means forgetting, and sometimes surviving means remembering. Some women tattoo the name of a dead child, not to move past it, but to keep them alive on skin when they can't hold them anymore. Some women tattoo divorce dates, not celebrating, but remembering the day they chose freedom over comfort. Some women tattoo symbols of traumas nobody else knows, not to display them, but so the body won't forget what the mind tries erasing. You don't tattoo yourself to be seen. You tattoo yourself to see yourself when you no longer recognize who's looking back. Skin chooses for us. Ink perpetuates what the mind fears releasing. The chosen scar is a mirror, not of the past, but of the internal conflict still breathing. Here's a fascinating paradox. Women who tattoo themselves seek control, but tattoos become something they can't control. Can't control how they age. Can't control how others interpret them. Can't control whether in 10 years they'll love or hate that decision. And that's precisely the hidden lesson. Living with the permanence of something chosen in one moment is learning to live with all versions of yourself. The 25-year-old who tattooed a freedom symbol, the 35-year-old who looks at it remembering who she was, the 50-year-old who sees it and smiles tenderly at that younger self. Tattoos aren't just marks. They're bridges between all versions of you that have been and will be. Every chosen scar connects past to present, and present to all futures you don't yet know. Anna tattooed herself at 19, a large rose on her shoulder, beautiful, vibrant, impulsive. At 29, she hated it, saw it as a youthful mistake, a decision made by someone who no longer existed, thought about removal 1,000 times, but something stopped her. At 39, revelation hit. That tattoo wasn't a mistake. It was a reminder. A reminder she was once brave without calculation, that she once made decisions without fearing the future, that she once believed beauty alone justified something. Now when she looks at it, she doesn't see recklessness. She sees freedom. Her chosen scar changed meaning because she changed. The tattoo stayed the same. She didn't. And in that shift, she found peace with what once shamed her. Not all tattoos are born from trauma. Some emerge from joy, love, pure desire. Some get chosen from light, not shadow. But even those, even the ones seeming most innocent, aesthetic, casual, even those carry invisible signatures. Signatures of who you were when you decided. And that signature always has history. Because nobody chooses permanent skin marking by accident. Nobody crosses the threshold of permanent pain without something beating underneath. Sometimes the reason is conscious, sometimes not. But it's always there. And that's the truth of every chosen scar. Even when chosen from joy, it's choosing something, saying something, engraving something that needs to be permanent. The question is, what? Now we reach the practical core, the internal laboratory where you decipher the unconscious tattooed language. This isn't about judgment, not regret. It's about understanding. Because understanding is what transforms. And every chosen scar deserves understanding, not just observation. Every tattoo is compressed personal mythology. Each symbol chosen, each placement decided, each moment saying yes to the needle contains a complete story. But that story's in code, and code needs deciphering. Take paper and pen. Draw your tattoo or write its description. Now ask yourself, what exact emotion did this chosen scar need that I couldn't name? Not what it represents, not why you did it, but what emotion you were avoiding feeling directly. Rage, sadness, emptiness, need for belonging, differentiation, permanence. What version of me did I believe this tattoo would give me? Stronger, freer, more authentic, more visible, more memorable, more me. What was I afraid of being if I didn't get tattooed? This question hurts because it reveals what was actually at stake. Your mind will insist. It doesn't mean that much. Just a drawing, just aesthetics. Protective lie. The unconscious does nothing just because. Dig deeper. Woman with bird tattoo on arm. Surface answer. I like birds. Represents freedom. Deep answer after exercise. I was 24. Just ended a relationship where I felt caged. Chose a bird because I needed reminding I could fly. But also because I feared without that relationship I was nothing. This chosen scar promised I existed beyond that cage. See the difference? One's decorative, the other's existential. Where there's ink, there was fracture. Every chosen scar marks where something broke, and something tried reconstructing. Close your eyes. 3 deep breaths. Now travel mentally to the exact moment before your tattoo. Not the day you entered the studio, but the moment you decided you needed one. Visualize. Where were you? Who were you with or not with? What happened in your life the previous months? What version of you had recently died? What version was trying to be born? Write everything unfiltered. Let memory flow without judgment. Your memory will try distorting the origin. Say it was casual, for fun. The unconscious doesn't lie. Keep excavating. Woman with date tattooed on ribs. Surface answer. The day my daughter was born. Deep answer after exercise. My daughter was born, but I also died a little that day. Stopped being just me. My body changed. My identity fragmented. I tattooed that date not only honoring her, but reminding myself I was also born then. A new version of me. Stronger, yet more vulnerable. I needed anchoring that transformation in skin because otherwise, I'd forget who I was before and who I am now. Each chosen scar has its own voice and needs hearing. Place your hand on your tattoo. If you don't have one, imagine you do. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Now ask 3 silent questions. What did you come to protect in me? Wait for the answer. Don't force it. Can come as word, image, sensation. What part of me still needs you to exist? This reveals if the tattoo fulfilled its purpose or still holds something needing release. What would happen if I let you go? Not physically, emotionally. What if you no longer needed carrying this symbol's weight? You'll feel discomfort, like betraying yourself, like denying something sacred, normal. Sign you're touching something deep. Woman with motivational phrase tattoo. Surface answer, reminds me I'm strong. After dialogue, you came protecting my fragility, the part still afraid of breaking. I still need you because I don't trust my strength is real without you. If I let you go, I'd have to trust I can be strong without daily inscribed reminders, and that terrifies me. That's the truth of chosen scars. Sometimes they protect exactly what they try hiding. Bodies don't forget what minds repress, but they can learn carrying memories with peace instead of weight. Stand before a mirror. Look directly at your tattoo. Say aloud, with intention, this chosen scar is part of my history, but doesn't define my destiny. I honor the version of me that chose it. I honor the pain it tried healing. I honor the search it represented. And now I choose carrying it with peace, not as burden, not as regret, but as testimony I have lived, I have felt, and I have survived. Breathe deeply. Place your hand on the tattoo one last time and say, thank you, but I no longer need you to know who I am. Tears, rage, sadness, or unexpected peace, all valid, all part of integration, because every chosen scar deserves this moment, when it stops being necessity and becomes honored memory. Marta had 7 tattoos. Each marked a rupture. Each attempted recovering control. For years, she believed tattoos made her strong. They were her armor. Until a therapist asked, what if you didn't need armor? Marta couldn't answer, because for so long, she'd believed strength equaled hardness, survival equaled defense. She did the internal laboratory exercise and discovered something devastating. Each chosen scar was attempting to protect the girl who'd been abused, the adolescent who'd been ignored, the young woman who'd been betrayed. But that girl, that adolescent, that woman, no longer existed. The chosen scars kept them alive, and keeping them alive meant continuing suffering for them. Marta didn't remove the tattoos, but she changed her relationship with them. Now when she looks, she doesn't see wounds. She sees maps of a finished journey. She sees scars no longer hurting. She sees monuments to versions of her deserving rest. Her chosen scars stopped being screams and became whispers. Whispers of a story no longer needing shouting to be real. When you look at a tattoo, yours or someone else's, you're not seeing a drawing. You're seeing a frozen chapter of emotional biography, a shadow fragment transformed into form, a wound choosing to become symbol instead of scar, or rather, a scar choosing to become symbol. Tattooed bodies don't seek attention. They seek authenticity. They seek reconciliation. They seek existing without permission. But there's something deeper still. We live in a culture that doesn't know how to mourn, that tries overcoming quickly, that avoids pain like weakness. Tattoos are among the few modern mourning practices remaining. They're ritual, a way of saying, something died in me and I'm honoring it. A form of carrying visible mourning in a culture demanding invisible pain. And that's why they're so powerful, why they frighten so much. Every chosen scar is an act of memory, not to forget, but to remember in ways that don't destroy. Paul Ricoeur, philosopher of memory, spoke of happy memory, one remembering without resentment, honoring the past without being trapped in it. Tattoos can be that, happy memory made flesh, but can also be opposite. Memory refusing to heal because healing feels like betrayal. And there's the challenge. How to carry memory in skin without skin becoming prison? That's the question every tattooed woman faces eventually. The question separating chosen scars that liberate from those that imprison. Here's what almost nobody considers. Your tattoos aren't just for you. They're for everyone who'll see your body after you're gone. Your children, your grandchildren, strangers at your funeral. What story will you tell them with your skin? Not a morbid question, a legacy question. Because tattooed bodies are texts, and like all texts, they survive their authors. Every chosen scar is a word in that text, a word that'll be read long after you can't explain it. If your skin could speak without limits, what part of your story would you keep writing? And which would you stop tattooing even though it still lives inside? Because here's the ultimate truth. Not everything that matters needs being on skin. Some stories are so sacred. They deserve living only inside, in heart's silence, in memory's privacy. And other stories need being seen. Need being touched. Need being permanent. Wisdom lies in knowing which is which. Wisdom lies in knowing when the chosen scar fulfilled its purpose, and when it's time letting skin rest. Skin is the only book that never closes. Each tattoo is a breathing chapter. Each chosen scar is a phrase that won't erase. But here's the question nobody asks. Who's writing on your body right now? You or your shadow? Because in the end, we all carry tattoos. Some on skin, others on soul. The difference is simple. The ones on skin can be looked at. The ones on soul can only be felt. And maybe, just maybe, true courage isn't in marking skin, but in daring to look at all the marks we carry. The ones we chose and the ones we didn't. The ones we show and the ones we hide. The ones we honor and the ones we repress. Because chosen scars tell stories, but unchosen scars do too. And both deserve being seen. Both deserve integration. Both deserve peace. Because in the end, the body always tells the truth. And skin, tattooed or not, always keeps the secrets the mouth doesn't dare confess.
What's that? What's that got to do with me, Doc?
With you? Nothing, man. Just wanted to show you some hot chicks.